It is Legally Blind Journal number 25, believe it or not. It's been a minute on this stuff. And vision, starting out with, it's holding kind of steady at around that 12-inch mark. The headaches have been pretty regular, pretty strong. I did try and take more of a break schedule this week while working it. It helps some. Now, to be fair, I'm not honestly taking the right breaks and enough breaks and stuff. So I'm going to keep working on that and see if it keeps helping with the headache frequency and severity stuff. But beyond that, talked to the counselor some. Still struggling with the frustration of can't just jump in the car and go grab something. But that is what it is. That's probably the last vestibule of holdout of frustration that I have in just learning to, do new things, do old things in new ways. And that's one that you're not going to be able to do. The majority of things you can. So that's just something I'm working to get my head around. And we're working towards some things that should help with that over time. Working on building the farm up, getting that going. So I'm very type A, very antsy, very gotta do everything all the time kind of person. And I try to pull back and be more zen with the vision loss, but I don't do well. Slowing all the way down and sitting drives me insane. So right now, it's I can't always get a ride to go do something, or go pick something up, or just get out to the farm, quite frankly, and work on it. And those are the frustrations that I just have to get over time as we get this farm built up. And we build a house out there in 26, assuming that something doesn't implode, which happens sometimes, but hopefully it doesn't. Then when I'm, having that struggle, the antsy need to do, I can, go out the door and feed the chickens, or mess with the goats or cows or whatever the heck we end up with. Versus right now we're in a rental situation, so my options are pretty limited. So on that side of things. Because I got to be careful not to overdo my eyes as well. So, it's not like I can jump on and work at 2 o'clock in the morning to work through that, or at least I shouldn't. I got to do things that, are a little softer on the eyes. So I can play video games as long as I'm not trying to read anything. That normally helps. But there's only so much of that you can do or that you want to do. I like to build and make and do things and make change. So I think the farm's going to help with that one. And in between now and then, that's one of those where you just got to get over it. Keep smiling, keep rolling. Keep reminding yourself if that's the worst thing in life, then yeah, you're doing okay. Beyond that, most other things, been finding new ways to do old things. And so for anybody listening on a podcast, what I just popped up is some pictures this week, as always. On the upper left-hand picture is a picture of the barn in the background that we just had put up, and 15 tons of number 57 rock. And the second picture to the right is where starting to get the rock spread underneath one of the awnings. Now, full disclosure, within 24 hours of the building being put up, my depth perception's not great at all, admittedly, and I did bump the building with the bucket loader, but bump's a strong word. Not even a dent. I literally was going super slow. I thought it was 6 inches to 12 inches away, maybe. And to be fair with my vision, like that I did really good not to knock it hard. because I wasn't where I thought I was. And I'd gotten off the tractor. I walked up. I looked. What I failed to do was physically put hands on the building and hands on the bucket. Again, sometimes you forget that your eyes are tricking you now. And so I didn't do that. So I thought I had 6 to 12 inches. Well, the reality is I was almost touching the building. I had like an inch, maybe 2. So when I let off the brake, it went on the building. So, needless to say, my spouse was super happy that the within 24 hours I had bumped the building, made a little scratchy sound on the corner. So I needed to figure out a better way and whatnot. Obviously, the touch method is yes, that's huge when you can. And so I started doing that. When I feel like I'm getting close, I get off, I reach between the building and the tractor bucket, get on, move, get off, reach, touch, wash, rinse, repeat. Very slow process, but it keeps you from hitting it. And normally this is not going to be an issue. I'm just trying to get some dirt buildup and some rock buildup for erosion control and whatnot. And after that, I mean, I won't be getting near the thing like this. But at any rate, so I was trying to think through, okay, well, how do I not, tear it up from the higher side? Because then I had to move some rocks into an awning area. So in the middle top picture and the upper right picture, I have pictures of me on the tractor rolling up to the awning with a bucket of rock. And to avoid hitting the awning ceiling or wall, I have my cane out, and I was tapping and feeling the ceiling and the braces and the wall. And I know how long my cane is, so I could extrapolate where I was in space and time. I'm kidding. That's Doctor Who reference. But yeah, so any rate, I was able to actually use my cane and tap that out. So while it looks funny, it worked. And, I got to go gruelingly slow because obviously one mistake there would be very costly. But finding new ways to do old things, in the old world, I'd have just run up there, drop. It'd have been fast, mean, and ugly, and I wouldn't have made a mistake in all likelihood. Now it's methodical. It's, a little slower, more checks and balances, but in the end, the dirt and rock are still getting there. So, just finding new ways to do old things. And if you're listening on the podcast, one of the things that's different today versus previous is I am wearing sunglasses. I have found that my sensitivity to light has shifted some considerably. Whereas I was wearing the sunglasses in like grocery stores, stuff like that. I've found that if I wear them more often, it again lowers the severity and the number of the headaches, and the screens changing on computer screens and whatnot, the lights and colors and severity of them was starting to bother me. So I have sunglasses that I wear most of the time now, and definitely in front end of computer screens, and it does seem to be helping quite a bit. So again, finding new ways to do old things. In the bottom left, I've got a quote down there that's just keeping on reminding, a negative mind will never give you a positive life. And that's so very true. So I just keep reminding myself that, it's all right. It's going to be fine. I got to just keep on with the right attitude, doing the right things, and all will be good. Down in the center, bottom 3 pictures, basically, left to right. Just a couple of things there. We had a trench and what this picture is for anybody listening that can't see it, basically it's a trench that I ended up having to dig on Saturday. It's 185 feet long and supposed to be 2 feet deep. I'm going to say it's 2 to 3 feet deep the whole way because, again, looking from the seat in the backhoe, where its depth's really hard. So I was trying to gauge it by the how much of the bucket arm was disappearing. But again, my eyes tricked me. So I had a measuring stick, and so I would pop off the tractor, and I'd be like, "All right, sweet, I got 2 feet." I'd stick the measuring stick in, and went all the way down to my elbow. I'm like, "Well, okay, that's 3 feet. Whoops." But hey, the requirement for it was for it to be at least 18 inches. Deeper was fine. It's just the deeper you went, the longer it took. So it took me all day, and it mainly because I had to go really slow. So I didn't make any mistakes and hurt myself, but also because I was, sometimes digging it a third deeper than it needed to be, not realizing it. So it's okay. I had to laugh at myself though, because one time I went to stick and I had to backfill a little on this. I went to stick the stick in, and I almost fell in. I mean, that sucker, like I had dug this probably 4 foot long section. I had dug it like 4 feet deep, not realizing. So, you know, and normally what I've been doing with it, stuff like that, if I got to dig something now, because I can't, the depth is just escapes me with my eyes. They trick me all the time. As I normally just go a lot slower. I stop, I check it, I stop, I check it. This needed to be done same day, and it was long. So 185 feet is no joke on with a subcompact tractor. So I'm running a Kubota BX23S, and it did the job, did a great job. The operator was the bigger problem, but hey, yeah, I got it done, didn't get hurt, so really, really happy with that. I do have several more things in visual technologies to go over. I'm still learning them. That's why I haven't done a video on them yet. But one of the things that just the last thing I was waiting on, one of the things that I just got in, I definitely want to do talk about a little bit. I think a lot of people don't even know these things exist. But the easiest way to explain this or describe it, and I'll talk more in detail once I get my head all the way around it. But basically, it almost looks like the old time projectors for those of us who grew up with them, where the teachers would put a transparent piece of plastic on it. Light would go through it, and then it would shoot up to a board and be blown up. Kind of looks like that. Basically, it's like a 32-inch TV screen with some cameras pointing down, which is really cool because you can put papers down underneath one of them, and it will let you zoom in a lot. It'll also flip contrast, so it can be, black writing on white background, or white writing on black background, or yellow and black, all kinds of stuff. Very easy to use. It also has a secondary camera. You can put the paper under that, and it will OCR the entire thing, and then just and read it out to you, and put it up on that bigger 32-inch screen and blow it up while it's reading it out. It also parses it out where you can it'll like do blocks, so you can click on a block. If you don't want to listen to a 15-digit account number, you can click on it somewhere else on the screen. It'll kind of read that block area to you. So I am working on that. Took a little pause from Braille for a few weeks. I definitely got to get back to that. I just needed a break, so I need to get back to it next week so that a break doesn't turn into a never, But at any rate, other than really the frustration around the fact that I had a few times there where I just wanted to go somewhere, and it just wasn't an option. And I don't live in an area where you can do Uber or any of that. I mean, it's ridiculously crazy. I mean, if I was going to run to the grocery store and back, it'd be $150 here. So that's not an option. And even if, and that's even if there's a car available, a lot of times there wouldn't be. So I just have to plan things a little more methodically about that. And that works normally. Except for when hey, I've got that drive, I got to go. And so I just have to find other ways to exert that energy, and ways that I'm not, straining out my eyes too. So it's just about finding new ways, that's all. And so overall, things are going pretty well. Hoping that we keep this 12 inches for a long time. I'm going to try and do better, taking more breaks and taking care of my eyes. Because definitely don't want that to go down faster than it has to. So, at any rate, this is about the end of journal number 25, and maybe next week we can get into some of those technology pieces that I've been talking about a little bit. Y'all be good out there. Peace out, Girl Scout.